hold it. Just like with the last anime review, I do have to go over one little thing before I begin. Just like with the last anime, this one itself has a couple of weird things going on with its episodes. For instance, when the show started, it actually began in 2020 before wrapping up in 2021. And I know I said in the last one, I tend to only think of the episodes that came out within the time span of the year that qualifies for the reviews. But I'm gonna make an exception here. And the reason for it is, first and foremost, even though it did start in 2020, it really was only like 2, maybe 3 episodes that actually aired in 2020. The vast majority of everything else did come out in 2021. And second of all, it's pretty much clear what exactly they are nominating with this season. They're nominating it in its entirety. So call me a hypocrite if you like. I am going to take the entire season into account, even those first 2 or 3 episodes, regardless of when they started. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and begin. Not sure how to talk about this season without spoiling things from the previous ones. So if you're not caught up, consider this your spoiler warning. Eren finds himself in the country of his enemies, ready to enact some bloody revenge for his people's years of torment. Except that we also start to see things from the enemy's perspective, and how everyone is just caught up in this cycle of war and hate. Meanwhile, what exactly Eren's ultimate plan becomes a central focus of this season, leaving many mysteries about his new demeanor. I know, that's vague as hell, but look, I'm trying my best to not include a lot of spoilers in this review, so bear with me here. And can I just start off by saying the one thing that I think is on everyone's mind? Finally, Eren's a fucking badass! Holy crap, have we waited a long time for this moment. I mean, from the very first fight that he's in, and you see he's on a completely another level, you're just on the edge of your seat, you're excited, you're anticipating what he's gonna do next. And that's fantastic because in previous season, he really wasn't a character that you ever really were interested in following. From the very beginning of the series, he always came off as this whiny little brat that never grasped the severity of any situation. He had his determination, yes, but really not much else. Heck, if it weren't for his Titan powers, he would practically be useless. So I'm glad that this was finally the season that changed that about him. Funny that as he lost his spunkiness and was less animated, he became a much more interesting character. And same goes for the side characters as well, the supporting cast. I do wish they had more time in the limelight, especially if you've had your favorite from previous seasons, but at least they're given things to do for the most part. I will say that a big part of this season really does focus on 2 of the enemy characters, Gabi and Falco. And I know a lot of people are gonna take issues with Gabi, especially with what happens with her character, but I never found these characters to be terrible. I understand why they had as much screen time as they did and why we followed their journey to really see things from a different perspective, and to see the similarities between like Eren and his friend's youth versus these kids' youth right now. But again, I really do wish some of that screen time was dedicated to some of those returning characters, especially because I do think they could be very interesting characters if just given a little bit more time of development. As you can no doubt tell, the animation is still very crisp. One of the things that was really off-putting to me about the seasons after the first one was that they started using this CG animation on the Titans, which was really distracting. But luckily, it looks like they've completely done away with that in this season. Because as far as I remember, I don't recall them using that style for any of the Titans. And honestly, I do think it works for its advantage, because the fights themselves do look much more impactful when it's using that hand-drawn style of animation. The excitement from the previous seasons is still fully present here. From the awesome battles, the mysteries, the revelations, the character death, all of that is kicked up a notch here. I've said this before in other videos, but this really is the Game of Thrones of anime. Like, just about anybody can die at any time, and it's always a huge shock to see which route they're gonna go with next. But that being said, you're always excited to see what's coming next, despite knowing that your favorite character could perish. So that's still fully present here. In fact, even more so. This actually takes it back to the first season for me, where really all of that stuff was new and fresh, and so it was even more impactful. I felt it did lessen in the other seasons, but this one, it's right back on track. I also want to mention that the final part to the final season is currently airing, so if you have not gotten caught up yet, this is honestly a really good time to do so you can wrap things up along with everyone else. I highly recommend it. Are there some seasons that are stronger than others? Yes, but all in all, as of right now, the series has been fantastic, and I wholeheartedly recommend it. As for this season by itself, I give Attack on Titan the final season part 1 a 4.5 out of 5, with a recommendation to buy it. As long as the second part delivers on its finale, this is a series that definitely belongs on your shelf. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today, so please join me tomorrow for another Titanic anime series review. Alright, until then guys, please stay safe out there and have a good one.